Hey guys, so unfortunately my original voiceover to this video has vanished. I don't know what's happened, very annoying. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep the original video with my annotations, but I'm going to narrate over that. So some of what I'm saying might be slightly out of sync with what you're seeing on screen, but just bear with me. Okay, so this is Act 3, Scene 5. So please make sure your Macbeth books are open to page 72 and you have a highlighter and a pen. As always, pause if you need to do that now. And then please read the brief summary of this short scene on screen. Pause if you need a second to do that. And just a note to say that Hecate is spelt kind of in varying ways depending on the source of the play or the website that you're using, but both spellings are referencing the goddess of witchcraft, so just to make that clear to you now. Okay, so let's just whiz this forward. So this scene takes place on a heath, and there is thunder, and the three witches are meeting their goddess of witchcraft. So make sure you highlight thunder for me. And this is pathetic fallacy, where the weather reflects the mood. And this indicates Hecate's evil nature, and also creates an atmosphere of fear, just as we saw in Act 1, Scene 1 when we first met the witches. And Hecate's arrival is therefore punctuated with this bad weather. Hecate arrives and the bad weather also arrives. Okay, how now, Hecate, you look angry? The first witch is asked why Hecate looks so angry. Have I not reasoned beldams as you are saucy and overbold? How did you dare to trade and traffic with Macbeth in riddles and affairs of death, and I, the mistress of your charms, the close contriver of all harms, was never called to bear my part, or show the glory of our art? And which is worse, all you have done hath been but for a wayward son, spiteful and wrathful, who, as others do, loves for his own ends. Not for you, but make amends now, get you gone, and at the pit of Acheron meet me in the morning. Thither he will come to know his destiny. Your vessels and your spells provide, your charms and everything beside. And you can't see that last line, I'm afraid, just due to the bar at the bottom. And what Hecate is saying here is that she's angry because the witches have provided Macbeth with prophecies without her involvement or her say-so. She's particularly angry because she's the contriver of all harms and the mistress of your charms. She is the reason that the witches are able to do these things. And she's even more annoyed because they have spent this time on a wayward son who is spiteful and wrathful. Macbeth is full of spite and full of hate, and he only focuses on his own ends and needs. And then she asks the witches to meet her in the morning, where Macbeth will come to know his destiny. And she asks them to bring cauldrons and their spells and their charms with them. Okay, let's whiz forward slightly. I don't know how it's taking me so long to read this in the original video. Okay, So highlight this line, please. How did you dare in trade and traffic with Macbeth in riddles and affairs of death? And like I just mentioned, Hecate is annoyed and angry at the witch's poor job of manipulating Macbeth. And like I also mentioned, that she is annoyed because she's given them these powers and they have used them without her involvement, and this indicates her evil and controlling nature, much like Lady Macbeth. And we will, we've discussed that comparison between the witches and Lady Macbeth, and we will develop on that as we finish reading. Highlight loves for his own ends. This indicates that Macbeth is selfish, as he's only independently working for what benefits him, not for the witches. And we know that Macbeth has said that he is coming to seek out the witches, but Hecate here seems to be privy of some kind of knowledge about the future, which is often a characteristic of the supernatural and the witches. And she seems to be aware that Macbeth is coming. I think I made an error there and then I changed it. Yep, she is aware of the future. I am for the air this night I'll spend until a dismal and a fatal end. Great business must be wrought in noon upon the corner of the moon. There hangs a vaporous drop profound. I'll catch it ere it come to ground, and that distilled by magic slate shall raise such artificial sprites as by the strength of their illusion shall draw him on to his confusion. He shall spurn fate, scorn death, and bear. He hopes above wisdom, grace, and fear, and you all know security is mortal's chiefest enemy. Here she says that tonight she will spend organising a dismal and a fatal end, and she will create spirits, shall raise such artificial spirits from droplets of the moon to create an illusion and to further confuse Macbeth to such an extent that he will think that he is beyond fate and give him a kind of false security, which is mortal's chiefest enemy, which is a man's greatest enemy. Music and a song within, come away, come away. Hark, I am called, my little spirit, see, sits in a foggy cloud and stays for me. Hecate goes to see such artificial spirits, exits. Come, let's make haste, she'll soon be back again. The first witch says, let's go, she's going to be coming back soon. Okay, let us get some annotations down. If you highlight that, please, shall raise such artificial sprites as by the strength of their illusion shall draw him on to his confusion. And like I said, she's going to create spirits that will ultimately lead Macbeth to his destruction. Just a reminder to pause at any moment if you need some time. And this destruction will become as a result of the fact that he thinks that he can toy with fate or be beyond fate and above wisdom, grace, and fear. So she plans to give him false confidence and security, which is almost what he experienced when he believed that Banquo and Fleance were both murdered. Security is mortal's chiefest enemy because man will become complacent and unguarded. They'll believe that they are safe and they will believe that they are untouchable. That is the enemy of man. Okay, pause the video here if you need a moment, but if you are done, please return back to the worksheet and complete the task for this scene.